Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the webinar. Um, I see that there's some people already in the room. Thanks for joining. We will start the webinar on time for those of you who have joined us at 11. So welcome everybody to the first session of this four webinars foreseen. We will be explaining you throughout those webinars the work that we've done in the project KALEIDOS. We will present you the project and also the best practices developed here and all the work that we are doing. And we will be having sessions to present this content and share and exchange experiences and knowledge and good practices, etc., so that we start building this hopefully long-lasting network of professionals throughout the project last period and beyond. So again, welcome everybody. I am Mireia Manent. I am the project coordinator of KALEIDOS, and I will be introducing the session for you all. If we go to the next slide, please. In the session today, we will have two parts. There's going to be a first introduction of the project that I will be presenting myself. And then we will have three presentations from three partners of the KALEIDOS consortium presenting their ecosystems and how they interact with their ecosystems and the best practices they have shared within the context of KALEIDOS, and they are bringing to the project for its development and further kind of life beyond the project. There will be a final session of questions and answers that's going to be 10 minutes long. Attendees, as the webinar is foreseen, have right now both microphone and camera off. The chat will be moderated at the end for the Q&A session. So I really encourage you to throw your questions and comments through the chat, and we will be bringing them forward to the speakers in the last part of the webinar. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yes, so this is the introduction of KALEIDOS. Next slide. KALEIDOS is a project that's been funded by the European Commission. It's a 30-month project. It's a coordination and support action, which mainly focus on the exchange of good practices, the enhancement of those good practices, and the spreading of them within the project and also outside of the project. It has been developed by a consortium of 6 partners and 1 associated entity. We are right now already beyond the half, the first half of the project, and we are advancing towards the last year, where all the project efforts are going to be materializing in a series of tools and resources that we will make available for others to use during this last stretch and also afterwards. Next slide, please. So the project aim of KALEIDOS is basically to help advance towards a knowledge valorization approach in which universities and research centers and institutions can have a systemic view of this knowledge valorization and work together with their ecosystem quadruple helix actors to make the research generated and the research and the knowledge generated from this research into practical solutions that are relevant for society. When we talk about a systemic view and we refer to the quadruple helix, what we mean is we want to bring all the actors in the ecosystem, that is academia, industry, but also the public sector and the civil society at large, to kind of contribute to the identification of shared challenges and areas of interest in which they can together work to find solution. So when we talk about that kind of approach, what we are trying to overcome is the limitation of only collaborating with a certain part of the ecosystem to have a more broad approach and bring everybody in. That is in line with the open science approaches that are put forward by the European Commission and that are also relevant for bringing value to all the knowledge that academia and research institutions generate. So in this context, both researchers and especially research managers play a critical role, as they are kind of identified as facilitators of these interactions happening within the ecosystem. and to enable this kind of work together to identify challenges and find solutions. Next slide, please. So in the process of Kaleidos, what we have done is we have identified what we here is labeled as knowledge valorization best practices, which is basically good practices that are already in place at the different partner institutions. And what we try to do is to bring them together, enhance them and improve them and make them as part of a single toolkit that is relevant for others to implement this knowledge valorization approach. This has been developed and tested in the 4 ecosystems at the consortium. And this is going to now generate a toolkit, what we call a toolkit, that's going to be available online and for other institutions to first pilot in the context of the project and then use beyond the project life. A significant part of the effort we're doing is the network that we're launching today and that we hope you all be part of. And this network of professionals brings together, as we said, both research and innovation managers and researchers who are key audiences of the trainings and the efforts in terms of spreading of good practices that are happening in Kaleidos, but also are key actors in the development of these good practices implementation in a way. Next slide, please. So this is just an example, and I'm going to be really brief. This is how the toolkit is going to be structured. It's not the toolkit itself, but it's how it's going to be organized. And it's going to have three main parts. First, very significant part focused on the strategic overview, why this is relevant, for whom is it relevant, who's going to be working on building this, the activities that are envisioned in this toolkit and bringing them to life. There's going to be several tools available for self-assessment, both for organizations in terms of assessment of skills and competences and for their understanding of where they stand in terms of open science and knowledge valorization, and also resources for assessing the activities undertaken and for enhancing the networks with the ecosystem and also by and between professionals of the network. And then there's going to be 2 big parts of resources available. One focus on the identification of shared challenges within the ecosystem, and one focus on the co-creation of solutions for those identified challenges. Next slide, please. What we're trying to achieve with this is generate a pool of resources and tools that are helping research centers and universities and other academic actors to have a strategic understanding of where they are and where they want to go, and develop associated action plans with the specific activities that help them advance, with a focus on knowledge valorization and always having open science approaches embedded. The ultimate goal is to have a systemic approach that enables those actors to connect with their stakeholder and their ecosystems and have long-lasting win-win relationships that enable, fruitful collaborations in the long term. If we look at the specific professionals that are going to be, hopefully, as I said, part of this network, what we would like to help is to develop their professional profiles, both in the sense of defining them or fine-tuning them, and also by enhancing their skills and competences through trainings, and also enable exchanges and interactions that are happening within the network. Of course, also beyond the project immediate impact, we have the interest of contributing to all the policy discussions happening now at the national and at the European level concerning policy. Next slide. So 2 final remarks for those of you who are attending here, who are either coming from academia and research or coming from the research and innovation management side. what's in it for you. Basically, what we would like to offer you is resources that enhance your skills and competences connected with the content of the project, and therefore help you advance in your career. Also, networking opportunities, and then, of course, tools and resources that help you in the development of your day-to-day activities and the measurement of the impact of those activities. So basically, we want to be there to accompany you and your career development, to help you enhance your research activities. Next slide. For the managers, for the research and innovation managers, but also for organizational management participants, we offer tools and methods to use from a strategic perspective. So we want to help you understand first where you are and where you're going to go at the organizational level or department level, and then act accordingly to this set strategy. We want to give you opportunities to interact with other actors to generate new proposals for funding access, whether it's public or private, but we also want to help you enhance the network of collaborations to have access to research funding, which of course is one of the main interests of the organization, and also help you position yourself as a strong and relevant actor in your ecosystems in terms of positioning of the organization and ranking. Again, we offer, of course, uh, impact measurements and indicators that help you assess what you're doing, the associated tools and resources, and also networks, both at the local level and on the international level, that help you develop your activities in the context of your organization. Next slide. So what is going to happen? We're going to have, as I said, 3 further webinars, one in February, one in April, and one in June, in which we want to show you more of what I've just presented briefly today, and give you the opportunity to learn more about these specific aspects that we have been working on, the skills and competences for knowledge valorization for professionals working in the field, the focus on the social impact of the activities that we undertake, and the lessons learned. Webinar is going to be focusing, of course, in the exchange amongst us and with you on what have we learned throughout the processes.